Oh shit, Narcissus started a damn daycare. Half their group is kids now. It's 3 to 4. Shit crazy. Anyway, Silver Mask, he took care of some business right off the bat. Soon as he came in, this guy was talking hella shit. And he's like, I'm Zod. I take from motherfuckers and nobody takes from me. Cause I'm that damn strong. He slit the motherfucking half. The dude was hugging himself trying to hold the shit together. This side slid down, the other side went up. It was like the scene from that movie 13 Ghosts or whatever. When the guy got split in half, but the door came up and chopped him down. He's trying to hold this shit together like this. And it was like that. The tie came off. Anyway, the guy's daughter tried to avenge him right off the bat. Oh man, he was impressed by the girl. So he didn't take out right away. He held off for a second till she spit in his face. Then he says, okay, it's time for you to die. Narcissus came in, set the motherfucker up. And I know he was holding out like, please let this motherfucking avalanche start right now. He said, I need it right now. And he held Silver Mask off for just a second. Silver Mask didn't go too hard on him because he thinks that Narcissus would be a good guy to have on his side. And that was true. But Narcissus said, he said, fuck that. He said, the guy I serve right now is cool. He doesn't talk about serve me or hand me this or do that. He said, the guy works with me. He said, we work together. He's the king, but we work together in tandem, not at random. But anyway, that's what he said about Narcissus. I mean, about Arslan. And we do get a little clip it or snippet or flip it of this guy. He's like a Black Zetsu. Remember Black Zetsu from Naruto? Well, he wasn't making enough money. And being that Naruto was pretty much done with, he said he might as well go ahead and get this Arslan money. And you see the guy traveling through the ground and whatnot, stuff like that. And he's, a magician or something like that. Basically, he's the Houdini of the Black Zetsu world. Anyway, Narcissus got that girl up out of there, and they, saved her and whatnot. Now she's part of the group. So then we cut to pause, and the king's little brother made his move. He set one of Bowden's boys up and turned them into hypocrites. So they lost the support of the citizens, I guess that's the word I want to use. But when they found out that he was doing something unlawful, remember, these supposed to be some men of the cloth. Even though they're warriors, they're supposed to be men of the cloth. So they caught him with some whore. So now it was like, oh shit, they're not men of the cloth. They deserve to die slowly and painfully. He set the whole thing up. Basically, he disempowered Bowden. Also, the king, the fat dude, he's really not much of a threat. He's the least threat. He's the least of a threat of the three. They said it was 3 powers in that kingdom. One was the clergy, which was a guy. Remember, they rule with religion, so the church is obviously real strong. It rivals the king. So it was him, and he had, like I said, he had the knights. It was the king's little brother who had his own little army, and then the king. But the king lost a lot of respect from his peers and whatnot from trying to marry this girl at Pars. Tried to marry her, so he knocked a few people out the box. And on top of that, he's not that smart. He doesn't seem too bright. He's not that strong, so he's at a disadvantage. So the only people that was really a threat was Bowden and his brother, and his brother basically disempowered Bowden. So Bowden's right now, he's at a loss. Really, he still got some power, but as of right now, he's at a disadvantage. So he might need to, take a minute to go at the king's brother. I forgot what his name was. But anyway, Team Arslan finally meet back up. What's his name? Xandes, and he was high on Xanax. he finally catches up to Dorian. They're fighting and whatnot. And in the middle of the fight, fucking Black Zetsu tried to cut his ass down. I mean, he zipped out. He popped up on him. I mean, the motherfucker popped like a damn dolphin or something out of the rocks. And back, he went in from one side to the other side like he was a dolphin or something like this. The motherfucker's trans species. He went dolphin mode on him. And Dorian was able to catch that and move out the way. Anyway, Narcissus and Give and all of them, they were close by. They happened to see. They come by. And what you call him? The dude tells Black Zetsu basically tells Xanders, who was high on Xanax at the time, he says, I'm serving the same guy as you are. And he says, well, do what you got to do then. You know, he said, help a brother out. Anyway, Xander is able to dehorse Dorian, get him off guard, and the guy tried to stab him in the back. Pull the old bitch move on him. Anyway, Narcissus comes in for the save. The Black Zetsu goes after Narcissus. Dorian, oh my God. He seen the prince in trouble. He said, threw the dude up. Xanders knocked him up. As he went to go running, his foot was so strong he broke the ground that he was took off on. As he's running, without slowing down, there's about 20 soldiers. Killed all of them. And then killed the dude, Black Zetsu, put a spear through him. I like the fact that they killed him. Why? Because even though they brought in the magician dude and whatnot, with the dude with powers and whatnot, I think this series works best without all the magic. I said this before on one of my other reviews. I mean, the way the series was going was well before. And once you start bringing in magic and stuff like that, sometimes it goes left. Like, let's say right now, goddamn UFO pulls up with Martians in it. You'll be looking like, what the fuck happened? You know, that type of deal. I think the magic can fit in this, and plus they already brought it in. If they keep it to a minimum and only a certain people could do it and that type of deal. But getting rid of him right now kind of ensures that we don't have to worry too much about some OP motherfuckers and this and that, and it's all based on superpowers and genjutsus and shit like that. You know, it kind of ensures that. So I like the fact that they took him out. I don't know why they brought him in, but they probably brought him in just to say, hey, this is the reason why, because we didn't have any weathermen at the time, but this is the reason why we knew there was going to be fog that time, because I made it happen. Now, I wonder if they're going to use more magicians later on. Hopefully, if they do, like I said, make it very limited. This series works well without them, so I want to see them make sure that it's limited if they do it, which I said is fine, but I would prefer if they don't, because that's you start treading on some type of, I mean, you tread on real rocky, or what should I say? You treading on like dangerous waters, really. You know, it's like a slippery slope. Before you know it, fucking Martians and Medea show up. We do not need Medea goes to Arslan or goes to Pars or whatever. That'd be Tyler Perry's next movie. Medea saves Arslan, or Medea beats Dorian. Fucking my dukes and shit like that. That's the last thing we need. Anyway, Dorian goes back, manages to dehorse what's my man name, Xanders, and almost takes him out. He beats him, puts a fucking spear to his head, and he basically knocks the spear out and tries to hightail it out of there. Ferragus takes him out. Now the people are back together. The person we're waiting for is Narcissus and his new little girlfriend. She's like 16. He's 26. I didn't know he was so young. The motherfucker's my age. I didn't know he was that young. Everybody, and when I thought about it, I said, that makes perfect sense. Why? Because in those days, you know, Varese, he is rare. Somebody to live that long. Most of these people dying at the age of 19. Like, that's the type of, we live in, this is medieval times. So, you know, Narcissus being 26 makes sense. You know, that's everybody's at that time is 26. Anyway, what you call him? Dorian talks to Arslan, and he says, fuck the throne, man. I'm following you, man. Because Arslan basically says we're equals. He says, I know I'm the king, but we work together. And he says, you saved me a bunch of times, so I had to save you this time. And I like how they did that. Like, they showed the maturity level of Arslan. Also, that the bravery of him. Not only that, if you compare him to the rightful king, that everybody's like helping out because Arslan's dad was an asshole. Arslan's dad was an asshole. Now the king, who Arslan's dad's what's his name? Adragon, or whatever his name is, agitate, or whatever his name is, Lorenz Tate. His brother seemed to be a decent guy, and he took his brother out. But his son seems to be a good dude, and the other guy's son seems to be a piece of trash. And it seems as if they serve him just because of tradition and just position of power. I'm the true king. You're supposed to serve me. And they're like, okay, that's the way it worked back then. Whoever was supposed to be the king, you serve him. He could be the worst person on the planet. You serve him. Dorian basically stated, it's not, he said at this point in time, it's not even about that. He said, I want to serve this guy. This type of person is the type of person I need to be serving. And I really thought that was a good show of character for Arslan and Dorian. And Narcissus basically said the same thing when he was fighting against Silver Mask, Hermes, or whatever his name is. He said, I don't care who your lineage is. So basically, he's trying to piece together. The guy said, I'm the rightful king. He says, wait, the other king that got taken out did have a son. Maybe this is his son. I'm thinking he's starting to piece it together. He said, I don't care what your lineage is. He said, this guy, Arslan, is the true king because he leads by example. He's willing to put himself on the line. He's got character. He's got a lot of different stuff, morals, everything. So I'd rather serve him, whether he's a true king or not. This is the guy that needs to be at the helm anyway. So they did a good job of doing that. This episode, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4.5. Real good episode. I can't say it was perfect. Like I said, they did a good job taking out the magic dude and whatnot, but I can't say it was 100% perfect. Well, actually, I kind of can say it was perfect. When I say perfect, we mean there was no real mistakes in it. It wasn't. But like I told you, if it's a 5, it got to be a wow factor. It didn't make me go, whoa. Was no fangasm involved. So I'm not going to go ahead and give it a 5. But we're going to give it a 4.5. I didn't have a fangasm. I got to have a fangasm for it to be a 5. Okay, the manga was written by Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, I know. As a reimagination of the novel. Wonder if she avoided writing a new story because of fans' pressure to outdo FMA was too much. I don't know. Doing your job too well can get you sacked, can get you crucified sometimes. Yup. He absolutely. One guy, he told me, he said, when you're doing your job, you make sure you're in the top maybe 5, but you never make sure you're the top number 1. He said, because they will not let you get a break. They will keep you there. All that stuff. People are so fickle. The slightest thing will turn them against you. And the worst part, if it can't prepare. Oh, you can't prepare for it if you get set up. Pretty much. Look at Superman. Superman saved the world 10 million times, right? Now, in this one time when he's suspected of doing something wrong, killing one person, they turned on him like that. Then find out that he was in the right and that he was set up, and then it'll happen again, and they'll turn on him again like that. That's how it is. Okay, lies mean you liked Black Zetsu's death because you are extremely thorough when it comes to neutralizing possible threats. Oh man, he's saying that I just wanted him to be taken out because he might have been able to help take out Narcissus and Arslan and all of them. No, I really meant what I said. Like I didn't want the show to get ridiculous, and I think I got faith in the writer, so I don't think they would have, but it could tread on that territory that Medea goes to Mars territory, you know. Damn, so the dude is playing Tiger. What dude is playing Tiger? Oh, you talk about Narcissus? No, Narcissus didn't do anything with the girl yet, but we got to keep it real. If a relationship forms with a 26-year-old and a 16-year-old, fine. Why? Because that's the type of time it was. This is medieval times. Everybody did that stuff, you know. And she's not that young. She's, you know, in Narcissus is young. In terms of, I mean, we talking about for that time, you know. If I heard a 19-year-old was having relations with a 16-year-old, I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's only 3 years. If an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old can get it on, then, I mean, which is really, nobody really is saying anything about that, then the 19-year-old is really not that much of a big deal. Okay, assuming I was born in these times, if a king told me that I was his equal, I'd be watching my back 20%. You're right. The king would take you out, or somebody would take the king out. I know what you're saying. Why would the king take you out? If you're his equal and you rival the king's thinking, damn, this motherfucker might take me out. I need to take him out before he takes me out. You know, that type of deal. So that's what he means by that. And he's right. Oswald is 100% right. If the king thought you was a threat, like, for instance, it was a movie, Flying Guillotines, right? The dude seen the flying guillotine, one of the king's subjects or whatever, seen the flying guillotine, and he was able to determine how it worked just by looking at it. And then the king killed him. And they said, why'd you kill him? He said he was a little too smart. They said the motherfucker was too smart. If he wanted to figure out a way to kill me, he might be able to do it. You know, that type of deal. He used the flying guillotine on him to kill him. He said the dude was just too smart. He said him being that smart, and if he wanted the throne, he may be able to get it. So we can't allow that. Okay, I don't know how I feel about the masked dude because he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong, but he's still an asshole. So that's how I feel about him. Is that his rightful throne? Yes. Is he an asshole? Yes. Is Agragon the asshole? Yes. Will we get another Agragon if we should call him Silvermask makes it to the throne, or whatever his name, Hermes? Yes. I'd rather have Arslan there. Okay, Arslan is a good person to be king, but it don't belong to him. He's still part of that lineage anyway. Had Hermes really died, Arslan would take the throne after Adragon or whatever his name is. Okay, FMA artist works on it, not the writer. That's why it's similar. Oh, it's the artist. Okay, I don't see the similarities in it though. To be honest, I really don't. It's a good story though. I thought it was the writer. My bad. Oops. Okay, man, you better chill with the cradle robbing. You'll end up like Mr. Anime. I ain't do nothing. Wait, Mr. Anime ain't do that. That was Mad Thad. Mad Thad was doing the child pornography and whatnot. Mr. Anime killed his family or something like that. And then I think he killed himself or something. But anyway, I didn't say anything about cradle robbing. I'm talking about them. Well, actually, I did say something about cradle robbing, but I didn't say anything about me cradle robbing. I'm talking about people at that time. But anyway, oh yeah, and I did say something about other people. I'm not having a problem with other people doing it, but I'm talking about people that's close to their age. 19, 20, and a 17-year-old is not that big a deal. 19 and 20. If you're 20, let's say you're 21 and the person's 17. Okay, illegal, frowned upon. He's not a child molester though. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference. It's not the same thing. It's 4 years. It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal when a person is close to 18. If we're talking about a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Because when you're talking about from 10 up to about 16, each year makes a big difference. It really does, because you start maturing real quick at that time. So each year makes a difference at that point. But when you're 16, to 17, it's a little bit of a jump, but not much. But 17 to 18 really is not that big a jump. It really, it's really not. It's a little bit of a jump from 16 to 18, so it's a little bit of a jump. But 17 to 18, not really that big of a jump. So if somebody's like let's say 18 and 17, not a big deal. 19, 17, not a big deal. 20 and 17 is really not a big deal, although it's illegal as far as I know. It's not really, like if you found out your sister was 17, well, no, let's say your daughter or your sister, whoever, was 17, she had sex with a 20-year-old, would you really have a big deal? Would you be like, oh my God, the guy's a goddamn child molester? No, you wouldn't. He wouldn't be a child molester. That really ain't the case. But I'm only saying this because it was in the show. We talking about something that's in the show. I don't bring this up normally. Y'all act like I'm like I bring this stuff up like in my normal everyday conversation. Anyway, go ahead and leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe because I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that.